Hey everyone, my topic today is self-transformation. So, by that, I mean transforming yourself from one thing to another. So, this could be conscious or it could just happen to you. So, like when I joined SOMA Breath, transformation just occurred because it deeply resonated with me. It just was my thing. So, that might work for you too, or it might be something different in your case. But you can also consciously choose transformation. And yeah, it's just about transforming yourself from one thing into another. Like, what do you want to become? Remember Transformers, those of us who are older? Like, what are you now and what do you want to morph into? Shapeshift, whatever. So, there are multiple ways to transform, right? Self-transformation can happen in multiple ways, multiple processes to accomplish that. Um, so one such process is my journey to the light. Um, I used to call it process for self-love, but actually I realized it can be applied to more things. It's really about starting in one place. So imagine you're somewhere on the map, right? Where are you? It's really important to realize where you are. Like, the truth is, this is where I'm starting from, whatever it is. Be able to clearly see that, not be in denial. Like, there's no judgment, right? It's just where are you on the map? And then where do you want to go? So, journey to your light is about getting where you need to go. So it's one way, one process to accomplish self-transformation. So, for example, if you find that you're in a very self-hating place, okay, that's where you're at. And then, yes, it would be a process for self-love, right? Like how to get to self-love. But you could be starting from somewhere else. So maybe it is anxiety. I'm having so much anxiety. That is what I want relief from. And the point you want to get to is relief from that or peace. Um, yeah, or it could be something less about a feeling and more like, well, here's where I'm at in my life, where I'm living, the amount of money I have, the relationship I have, how I'm doing as a parent, whatever it is. That is what I want to transform. That's what I want self-transformation about is, improving that relationship or getting more money or being a better parent, whatever it is. So yeah, my journey to your light process is a process for self-transformation, and I'll give you an example of it directly from my own experience of it. So I only want to share stuff that works for me. So basically, I came upon it, right? Like I created it naturally because it was helping me. So I'll share that for you quickly. I was feeling, this is a little while ago, um, very self-hating and unwilling and resistant, meaning like unwilling to just sit and meditate or whatever it was. But I didn't want to stay there. I did want to transform, right? And so I asked my boyfriend to get on Zoom with me. He's in a different location because I wanted that help, that presence, that it was really like I wanted to do most of it, but I needed accountability. I needed his presence, his loving presence. So I invited that. He was willing to do that. And basically I asked him if he would watch me do one of my Soma Breath sessions. But I basically put on, so I had him on Zoom, right? Like giving me presence and accountability and encouragement to keep going. And then on my other device, I'm watching one of my own Soma Breath sessions um, that was on self-love in this case. But I allowed myself to, yes, do that self-love session, but also I was using a lot of other strategies. So for example, I was seeing where I was at, identifying that it was self-hating because I was very resistant to that self-love session. So I allowed myself, to spew all that stuff verbally, write it down, no, I'm not gonna love myself, blah, 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 whatever, horrible, negative thoughts. So part of this process was to get all of that out, um, talk back to some of that if I wanted to make it more positive, not rosy colored. Basically, I was just trying to work with what was there. And so I also incorporated parts work. So I recognized that I was in a self-hating part. So I was working with that part, just being, if I could, loving towards that part, getting to know, like, just letting it express itself. Um, and then after doing that session and letting myself spew out all this stuff and talk back to it, cry, I was allowing emotion, right? So, like, if something would make me feel sad that the self-hating part was writing or speaking out, or if something made me feel anxious and angry, I would punch a pillow, shake my hands, rock back and forth, like allow my body to move however it wanted to, allow tears to flow out, allow that bad attitude, right? That self-hating part was, you really allow it to express itself like it's an angry kid and hurt kid, and just, let it express itself. Don't say like you need to feel better or you shouldn't be thinking that or whatever. So that's how the process began. And then as I started to feel a little better and be a little bit more willing to do more, because I was also engaging with the process, the SOMA breath session somewhat. So I was doing the breath work, but not fully. If I was resistant and wanted to stop and instead be writing or punching or whatever, I was allowing this whole mishmash of tools, right? Like pulling out whichever tool I wanted at that time that was helpful to me. But as I started to calm down and release some of that, then I put on another session. And all the while, right, checking in with my boyfriend on Zoom, because for me it was very comforting to like be doing a lot of this within myself, but then I could look at him. He has incredible loving energy. He would, encourage me to keep going. It was just very, very comforting, and it kept me from like abandoning that or like being afraid of feeling all that, like because I had his presence. Um, so then as I was more sort of willing and calm and some of that had moved, I put on another Soma Breath session of mine that was manifestation. And I was able to engage more with that session, not be so resistant, and do a lot more of the breath work. And that really, really raised my vibration, and I started feeling really great. So it's this whole process of self transformation, right? I mean, I was able to go from self hate to, by the end, self love and like a high vibration, feeling peace and joy and ecstasy, even. Like, what a wonderful feeling, right? Like, those of you who get self hate or panic attacks or anxiety, how horrible it is. And then to have that peace, it's like, oh, the sun came out after a storm, right? It feels so good. So that's basically my process, and I call it Journey to Your Light because it can be used just to go from anywhere dark to light, but in a way that really does not deny anything that's happening, really gives space to that part of you that might be childlike and just need to feel and, you know, be seen, right? Like, let all that stuff out and it's okay. So the whole process to get there rather than like, I shouldn't be feeling this way. And sometimes we don't go deep enough, right? Like, yeah, you go up, but you're not fully like um peaceful, right? Because there's something about when you really connect deeply and allow that, then when you get to that higher vibration, it just feels magical. So I just wanted to share basically about that idea of self transformation and my particular process of journeying to your light. Um, it could be from self hate to self love, it could be from dark to light, from panic attacks to peace, you name it. Like it's about that transformation. And this type of process I found so exciting because it works so well for me that I want to share it with others. Um, so yeah, just wanted to share about that today. I hope you guys are doing well. Please reach out at any time. Take care.